Hey folks, how you going? It's the day after. Now, yesterday morning you saw me with my little seedlings that I was sowing, or my seeds actually, my tomato seeds. Now, like we all do, the day after we want to go and visit our babies and see how they're going. This is the hothouse. Now, this one's on, this one isn't on, because I haven't set that one up yet because I'm just having fun. That's all, taking my time. Actually, I've just haven't had time. Look at this, they're nice and moist. It's condensation, it's a mini hothouse, and it is super warm in here. It's only 12 degrees outside. This is our little mini hothouse. It comes as a kit. Check them out on our website. And here, have a look. These are the little Jiffy pellets, or the Jiffy pods that I sowed my seeds in as well. Look at that. Now, this is about a week old, if that, about 5 days. Or maybe a week, but anyway, they've just germinated, all of them. Jiffy pods, Jiffy pellets, mini hothouse. If you want to get your tomatoes and seedlings up and early for your spring planting, now's the time to do it. Now, back to the serious stuff. Oh, wait a second. I've got a nugget here. Where am I going to put it? Here. I can't look after that. I'm going to squash that. I love my citrus trees, and we need to understand that a citrus tree loves its moisture. It loves to eat. They're big eaters, you know, they're gross eaters, as they say, but they need their drainage. They need good aeration in the soil. Now, I've persisted with these ones here behind me for the last 6 months, 9 months. They were doing well, but we've got a few problems going on here with this little environment here, this little microclimate. We get this crosswind that comes howling through from the southeast, even the northwest, and this tree here gets beaten to hell and back from the wind, plus the cold weather. So by the time it actually tries to establish any roots down below, above ground, it's just copping a beating. Now, I've been liquid feeding it. You can see I've composted that. Now, I'm doing all the right things as far as I'm concerned. Problem is, it's not getting enough airflow and drainage below. It's compacted around there. So I've aerated it, but again, it recompacts. So what I'm going to do here, rather than talking about compacted soil beneath the earth here where we stand on and watch this tree go backwards, I'm going to dig it out of the ground and I'm going to lift it out of the ground. I'm going to raise the bed here and then compost it again and watch the drainage, and then we can monitor it and see how it goes. First things first, timber. Timber frame, treated pine. If you're not using treated pine, make sure you paint the insides because they'll rot. Me, I don't care. If they rot, I replace them. I find timber on the side of the road. It's called recycling. 1 metre square. But before we build it, we're going to dig it out. Again, only use a garden fork. Do not dig with a garden shovel because you will destroy it. Look, soil's alive, rich. It's got lots of organic matter in it, but it's drowning. And it's just going to pop straight up. See? Look at that. It hasn't even taken root properly. Not a happy plant. Not a happy plant at all. Dark roots on it. So, oh, we've got worms here, living organisms. Fantastic. That's great, but we want this to become fibrous roots. You want me to show you what I mean by fibrous roots? I had another tree that was drowning in here. Follow this one. Let me bring it over. This is a grapefruit tree that I had in the ground. You know, 20 acres. Me and one other family member who look after all this garden here. So we can't get around everywhere. And now what we have here is a grapefruit that was dying. I literally just dug it out of the ground and shoved it in here. That's it. I haven't watered it, I haven't liquid fertilized it, I haven't done anything to it. I've got to feed a lot of plants, even my English box is discolouring, they need a lot of blood and bone. But this grapefruit tree, have a look at this. Just the simple fact that I took it out of the ground and it's getting airflow through because it's in a pot, it's already come to life. I cut back here, liquid fertilise with your EcoBoost and Liquid Gold, and this thing's going to take off. So this is what we're going to do with all these ones here. If you've got a problem in your garden, and your plants are drowning, no matter what you give them, even with all the fantastic products we talk about every day, dig them out. Got to get them out of the ground. So that's what we're doing here, getting rid of this. Irrigation comes out, and we build the box. Citrus trees love to be raised above ground because they can get the good airflow and drainage, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're building a raised garden bed with 4 pieces of 1 metre long pieces of timber. And if you're wondering why I never did it in the first place, it's because I didn't really want to build these garden beds as raised beds, and I didn't want to just mound up the soil like that either. But at the end of the day, if we're not going to win this battle, well, we have to make adjustments, don't we? So the bed's going to be built. This is 300 high, 30 centimetres high walls. If you've got treated pine, that's fine, that'll last a lot longer. You can put lining inside, like a plastic liner to protect it, or you can paint it. We call it tanking it, so you can waterproof the inside with a black paint, bitumen paint if you like. I'm not doing either of that. I'm not fussed about it rotting away and all that stuff. And as well as the bottom part of this bed here. If you've got couch grass and running grass or anything that's going to be quite invasive, you can build a barrier and you can put a layer of plastic at the bottom. Again, I'm not into that sort of stuff, but it's available for you. So you've got a geotech material you can lay on the bottom, or even a piece of carpet if you like. I'm just going to put my carbon down there because that's the food that I want to feed my little bacteria and create that ecosystem that can help the plants grow bigger, stronger roots and better microbes in the soil. So I'm going to layer it down with all this pea straw and a little bit of straw. And I've also got, have a look at this. This is from my chook pen. I've got some, this is pine shavings and straw mixed with chicken manure. Now this is probably about a month old, so it hasn't quite finished breaking down. That's aging, that is, for the chicken manure. So I've got to be careful how I put this through there, and I don't want it to be in direct contact with the roots. So I'm also going to add some composted soil, which is over here, and some red gum chips that I've got that I didn't put into the fireplace. But I'm also adding my black grit. Now the black grit is the soil amendment fertilizer. That's going to balance all this out for me. So in case I've got too much rich chicken manure in here with the black grit, it'll prevent it from burning and causing the tree to die back. So we're going to blend it all together, chuck it in there and plant the tree up. Have a look at this little Jaffa orange, or Caracara I think it is. It's a sort of a reddy colour inside orange, a beautiful little tree, dwarf variety. Now the soil is a little bit raised here, and you can see this one's doing okay. It's holding on. I mean, the cold weather's knocked it out a bit. It's discoloured a bit here. We've sprayed some CGWS as protection on it. That seems okay, but I'm not going to actually raise this one, I don't think. I'm going to do a test. I'm going to do that one there and leave the other. Actually, I might do that one there because that looks like it needs it as well. So I'm going to do those two and leave this orange and that orange over there alone and see which ones take off the quickest. Now, I don't really have to do the test. I can really show you a quick, simple one that we've already done over there. That's the espalier trees, which is already raised garden bed. And if we go for a walk there later on, you're going to see how crazy they've already taken off this time of the year. You'll see a huge difference. It's not too different from what I do in the veggie garden, folks. I always put my straw at the base, as you've seen all the time. I put my manure in the middle and just keep layering it. But in this case here, I'm going to blend it first. Now, this is the wood chips. Some of these big pieces aren't going in. It's all the fine stuff. So this stuff here, if you're wondering what it does, it helps to keep the soil aerated, you know, and it's a long-term, slow process of breaking down and turning it to carbon to feed the earth, create potash and all those good micronutrients that our plants leave. They're okay, leave those pieces in there. All right, soil in here, bark, start blending and start pouring. Now this is composted soil as well. Coffee drinker, don't throw your coffee grinds away, add them into your garden bed. The perfect fertiliser made by nature, because it is a plant after all. And black grit, well, it's a rock mineral. So this is made by nature as well. Certified organic, a couple of handfuls of this. If this tree doesn't grow, folks, look, more black grit. If this tree doesn't grow, I'll be a monkey's uncle, okay? After all this attention I'm giving it, worm castings, black grit, chicken manure, mulch, composted soil, wood chips. I'll change professions, how's that? I don't know what else I could do. This looks good. This really does look good. I just got to get some more soil and blend it through. Chuck that in there. 3 barrows and I still don't have enough. Never have enough wheelbarrows, folks. Now, if this isn't going to give this tree the drainage it needs, I don't know what will. I just need a little bit more, but for now, so we can finish. Look at that, how loose is that? Mate. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this to this tree here, do that tree over there, then I'm going to get excited and build some raised garden beds over here. I've got about I've got 25 metres of space here that I can't grow. Physically, nothing will grow there because of all the eucalyptus roots. So I'm going to build some raised garden beds there, and a few of them are going to turn into wicking beds, so you can see how to build your own wicking bed too as well. So, let's get our tree. Have a look at this. Just going to lightly tease it, not too much. See, look, it's wrapping around itself. It's been growing in that pot for how long? So I'm just going to try and loosen it up a little bit because it ain't happy with everything around it. You can see it's trying to grow some roots. All right. Yeah, I'm not tearing it. Oh, I don't like this one. Where's that going? It's gone around a few times. Look at that. It's choking itself. See that there? See how it's growing out and back up? There it is. See what it's doing? It's gone back up to the surface. Searching for air. It's suffocating down below. So all these roots couldn't grow out into the side walls there because the soil's so hard. Sandy soil, but compact, so hard it doesn't breathe. So this root started to grow back up here to the surface where it can breathe better. Seriously, if it can't breathe with this, look, there we go, a little bit lower. Let's get a shape into this, like that. There we are. This one I've got to press down because the soil's so friable and loose. There we are. How cool's that? Now this needs a slight prune back too. Back there, there. Take that off. Take that off there. That's enough for now. Doesn't need any more than that. And the last and most important part is a good watering. It needs a good soaking with EcoBoost and Liquid Gold. Look at that. Straight through it goes. No drainage problem here, folks. Some over the top. Smells good. We've got to put a blanket on, don't we? We can't leave it exposed like that. Look at this. There you go. Just like we got to hydrate ourselves, folks. You make sure you keep your plants hydrated. And that's what I've got to do tomorrow here with all the veggie gardens. I've got to give them a good feed with EcoBoost and Liquid Gold. They're due for it because we've had some good days today, sunny day today and yesterday, and they're drinking a lot, so the ground's drying up pretty quick. So if you've got a problem with your citrus trees, they don't seem to be growing no matter what you do. They've been sitting in the ground for 3 or 5 years, even longer, and they haven't budged. It's exactly what I had here going on. And if I left this any longer, it would not have moved. It would grow a leaf, drop it, grow a leaf, drop it, grow a flower, drop it. Dig it out of the ground, raise it up. And if you don't want to build a garden bed like this, get yourself a nice fancy pot that you like, cut the bottom off, sit it in position, and the roots will grow into the earth if it's happy. Otherwise, it'll be quite content in the nice, but it has to be a decent sized pot. Not a 30 centimetre, 40, at least 50 to 70 centimetres. Mini hothouse, transplant your trees, and enjoy your gardening. From me, Vasily, Maresi. These are the trees, folks. These are these spalias I was telling you just before. They're about a year old. They went backwards, but we started looking for feeding them and made sure we got irrigation down there, and they're taken off. See, these are the old leaves here, how they've all curled over. They're going to fall off. No need to worry about those. It's all this stuff here. This is where you notice. See all that little new growth there? That's, you know, it's a few months old, this growth, but it's holding on. Considering what you saw earlier with the other citrus tree, these are good. This is good too. A little bit of tip burn because it gets a bit windy still. They keep a bit, that's wind burn, look at that. Constantly blowing a gale on it, hitting against the mesh there. So that's wind damage, nothing else. And the tree is really happy below. Above ground, it's learning to tolerate these conditions we have there. And as they get older, they'll get stronger and tougher. And my little Maya lemon tree, I've picked about a dozen fruit off it already. I've got to harvest these. They've turned orange. They're all ready to be harvested. So we take the energy away from the fruit and let the tree concentrate on greening up again and putting on some more new growth. Plant the tree, give it good drainage, give it good fertiliser, and enjoy and reap the benefits out of it. From me, Vasily, Maresi.